Good morning, or depending when you're watching this, good afternoon, good evening, or good night. My name's Ross, and as always, told out of Voice of Radio. So today, we need to take a little bit of a look at Pikachu on the ball. Yeah, that's right, ladies and gentlemen. The near mythical promo card from over here in England, not the UK, not Great Britain, just England, is finding its way into the wild now. And unfortunately, it's not very pretty. Now, for those of you that haven't seen this, these are the futsal promos. Futsal's basically kind of like football, but with smaller balls and different skills and things of that nature. It's played by kids' clubs around the UK. Now, I know that some people are very upset that this is an England promo. I've heard from a whole bunch of people in Wales, in Scotland, saying this is very upsetting to us. We want this to be for the UK as a whole, or at least for Great Britain. And the answer is, sorry, but it is a promotion with the English Football Association and the England football team. So, if it actually was released in Scotland and Wales and Northern Ireland, that would be, that would be very strange, quite frankly, because it is an England promo. Now, you can, of course, have an opinion that is not terribly positive about why Pokemon chose to go for an England football promotion, but it's because the different countries of the United Kingdom all have different football teams, so it is as it is. Feel free to be upset about it, but it is an England promotion. And the first four promos haven't been a problem. We had Eevee on the ball, then we had Grookey on the ball, then we had Scorbunny on the ball, and then we had Sobble on the ball. And all of these promos could be gained by going into game, spending £15 on Pokemon products, and walking out with a promo. Although it did get super awkward with Sobble on the ball, purely because they ran out of stock. And, you know, like the first one that I got, I had to go and buy a Chilling Reign Elite Trainer box. Although, to be fair, my pulls were nuts. It was the best Elite Trainer box I've pretty much ever seen, because they literally had nothing for less than £42.50 to buy. So that was a little bit of a pain. But generally speaking, and for the others at least, it worked out pretty gosh darned well. And then we had Pikachu on the ball. And the problem with Pikachu on the ball, and we'll look at the price of the others at the end of the video, but the problem with Pikachu on the ball is it's not been released like the others. Now, I do have a genuine complaint here, and that is that Pikachu on the ball is numbered 1 out of 5. I want the Grookey, Sobble, and Scorbunny and Eevee to be a 4-card collection, and Pikachu to be different. Because put very bluntly, I have 2 kids and a third on the way. There ain't no way I am spending the amount of money on Pikachu on the ball that I need to get Pikachu on the ball. It's not happening. If anyone ever sees one for a reasonable price, hit me up, but I do fear it's a card that is beyond my reach. So I'm going to have 4 of the 5-card collection, and that stresses me out just a little bit. The way it has been distributed is some futsal clubs in the UK, but not all, have been given a small amount of cards to give to the kids. Now, obviously, the ones that have been given to the kids should get to the children. That is the point. They should get to the children. Unfortunately, there are way too many people who are not being as cool as they could be. That's why so many are ending up on eBay. But these are meant for the kids. And when you've got the fact that these are only given to kids football or futsal clubs, and they're supposed to be given out to everyone, you can understand why they end up being very rare and hard to get. So if we head on over to eBay and we have a look right now, and we have a little bit of a look at buy it now, you're looking at $3,500. Now, that's obviously a ridiculous amount of money, but for buy it now, 3,500 is, the 2 lowest ones are both that. That is frankly ridiculous. That is an absolutely preposterous amount of money. I cannot tell you, and that's the thing, and that needs to be borne in mind when we're talking about this and when we're going through this video today. I cannot tell you what the correct value of this card is, because nobody really knows. Nobody knows if they've all been given out. Nobody knows how many have been given out. Nobody knows if the market is going to be flooded with them soon. And nobody knows if actually the ones out there are the only ones out there and $3,500 becomes a bargain in a couple of months. Nobody knows, ladies and gentlemen. Nobody knows. But as it stands at the moment, $3,500 for a buy it now was about right. Or at least that's what people are asking. If we go over to solds, then, and again, we need to bear in mind that these are not terribly reliable, but the last two that sold were $2,000 for 25 bids and $4,000 with a best offer accepted. The thing is, there are so few of these cards. I have heard rumours of Pikachu on the ball where people are essentially selling it, cancelling the sale, and relisting it, essentially trying to push the price up. The theory is, the last one sold for $3,000, but there's no more on there. This is the only one. I'd better pay a bit more, etc., etc. So let's call it a little bit with that as an exact value, but certainly somewhere in the region of $2,000 to $3,000 seems to be about what they're selling for. Assuming these are real bids, and there are so few of them on eBay that it's it's not terribly reliable. Having said that, if you go to eBay and you flick down, there are a lot of them. A bunch of them have sold, and they're all about here. They're all about right. But again, we do not know what the deal is in terms of more being released, etc. Now, I do at this stage have to give you all a gigantic warning, because one of the things you were given out with them, and it's really quite cool, is a lovely little frame with a football pitch on one side that you could use to display your cards. Now, it's not a good way to display your cards. They'll get damaged. But it's kind of cool. The problem is, on one side of it, there is a Pikachu on the ball card. It's the first place we saw Pikachu on the ball. Not only that, but it is the exact size of Pikachu on the ball. See where we're going with this? They've actually made it ridiculously easy to make forgeries of this card that look right, because they have given a good quality, perfect size Pikachu on the ball on this little poster frame, as people are describing it. So do be extremely careful if you are trying to buy a Pikachu on the ball. There are a bunch of people who are basically selling them, and they're just made from this. And if you want that, that's fine. It's a way to have a version of the card and have it displayed and all of that. I'm not saying that if you want that, that's a bad thing, but I am saying that you need to be a little bit careful, because there are nefarious people out there using this meanly. So the card as a whole, is it worth $2,000 to $3,000? I honestly don't know. I have had a bunch of messages from people asking me about Pikachu on the ball, so I thought it was worth retelling the story of exactly how it's being given out, why it's so rare, and checking up on what exactly the prices are looking like at the moment. But it really is a case of nobody really knows, and you've got to be careful. It could plummet in prices, more get released. It could end up being one of the rarest and most exclusive cards that we ever see. And I don't have an answer for you, ladies and gentlemen. Ideally wish I did. Sorry about that. In terms of the other cards, honestly, none of them are particularly valuable. Like, they're not £2 cards, but they're all somewhere in the region of around about a tenner. None of them are particularly super expensive cards. I mean, Eevee seems to be the most expensive of them. There are a couple here, one sold for 35, one sold for 40. I've seen Eevee on the ball sell for less, incidentally, but this seems to be somewhere in the region of what it's selling for at the moment. But then if you get down to ones like Grookey and Scorbunny, I mean, Grookey is selling for, £7.50 was the most recent sold. So that's not a terribly expensive card. Sobble, the last one to sell, was £11. But then again, there's a run here of £7.31, £10 and £8.50. So that one for £11 actually seems a little bit overpriced. And then we've got Scorbunny on the ball, which, I mean, is selling for ever so slightly more. £9.15 were the last 3 sold, but I've seen a bunch sell for around about a tenner. My point is that although the Eevee has a little bit of value, the Gen 8 first partner Pokemon really are incredibly cheap cards. £7.50 to £10 is what you'll pay for them. It really is just the Pikachu. And because the Pikachu's been given out in such a different way, I do worry that this is essentially always going to be the case. And that is, shall we say, less than ideal. Sorry. I wish I had a better conclusion for you. I wish I could tell you that the card was going to flood the market and it was going to decrease in price. I wish I could just give you a really clear price of exactly how much it should cost. The information I've given you in this video is the best information available, and I'm afraid that's what we've got to roll with. But for now, ladies and gentlemen, I want to hear from you guys. What do you think about Pikachu on the ball? Is it a card you want to pick up? Is it a card you can ever see yourself owning? Let me know in the comment section, would you? Go nuts! Be nice! And then make sure you like this video, subscribe to this channel, follow me on Twitter at TheWasi, and Twitch for some live action at twitch.tv/PTCG Radio. If you want to support the channel, get some bonus podcasts and all that good stuff, head on over to patreon.com/PTCG Radio, where you can do exactly that. But by far the most important thing as always, look after yourselves till next time, would ya? Thank you very much for watching. My name's Ross, and you've been watching PTCG Radio.